welcome to a little segment I like to call Bumps and Bends. Hey guys, welcome to Lime Rock Park and welcome to Bumps and Bends. This is for the Formula Sprint Fixed Setup 2020 Season 2, Week 4. I wasn't going to do Bumps and Bends this week, but realised last minute this is the Grand Prix layout, and the other two Bumps and Bends I've done, go check out the playlist, are for two different combinations of the same track. This one is very fast and it's going to be very competitive. The setup difference between this season and last season, this one has a lot more front end grip, and even the slower guys can throw a bit more speed into turn one. Thanks to everyone who subscribed lately. If you haven't yet, click on that button down below, and yeah, hopefully give you some good content. I'll stop mumbling and we'll have a look at my times. This is not my best time. I did a 46.698 with an optimal of a 46.5. And in relation to the race that I watched earlier, a 46.698 is fairly respectable. A lot of the big hitters were here in this race. It was a 3200 strength of field, and a 46.6 is basically a top 5 best time. But it's a little track and it's hard to find a bit of space. And what I noticed in this particular race is the people who had crashed out and rejoined were ruining the race for other people. So hopefully you can have some good experiences here, and I'm looking forward to having some great experiences here this week. Anyway, let's have a look at this lap, which is a 46.8. It's about as committed as I could be, while having a short time frame. And let's have a look from the cockpit view. First of all, we'll do a full lap and then we'll look at it corner by corner. Let's do this. So we can really throw it into turn one now. Set up this corner for really punch it out. This one, try not to be too greedy. Really want to set up the right sweeper here. And this effectively is quite a long straight, so get that braking stability on point and you'll get out of the chicane really well. And once your tyres build up, you will be able to go flat through here. And that sets you up for a really long drag strip over the finish line. Now I'll keep this going to show you what greed will do. You can throw it into this corner, but a little bit too much, and get that front end loose, and you're off. So I actually did that a couple of times. Let's have a look at the track in detail. So yeah, like the car's got a lot of grip this week, and it inspires you to be just a little bit more confident lap in, lap out. And yeah, just be wary that once that front end gets a little bit slippery, you're gonna understeer a bit too much, touch the grass, and you're off. So yeah, this is basically setting it up here. I'm using this as a reference, the cone and the one, which the one's a little bit further up the road, but watching the leader, he actually doesn't change gears until pretty much after the apex. A lot of the guys watched Sebastian's qualifying lap, and he was actually going into fourth before the apex. So trying it myself, you see the delta go bright green when you go in without changing gears. And so I'm trying to find that balance of throwing it in without going too hard. So at the blue cone is pretty much where I've tapped the brakes. I've gone down to fifth, and it's just all about balance. It's not about brake or accelerate. Just find that maximum speed you can. And you want to go out as wide as you dare to this section here and really set up this corner. The more shallow you are, the more you have to compromise this corner. So right on the limit, you really want to place the car around here and get on that throttle, really punch it. Use not all the track, but you really want to set up the following corner. It's all about forward preparation with this track. You get a flow. It's all about setting up the following corner as you go along. It's only a short lap, 46 seconds, and there's a lot that goes on, especially in F3 sprint. Now, this particular corner here, you don't want to be too greedy. If you're too greedy, you're going to go out wide and you're going to lose a lot of speed in the following corner. So this is the most important preparation corner. And I found sometimes actually dropping it in fourth. If you get the right line and the right grip, you can actually gain a bit of delta time in fourth, but traditionally I'll go third. So I'm basically just tap of the brakes and throw it in, but you really want to hug it in tight. Now, the tighter you hug it in, the easier it is to set up the following corner. Now, when you first start driving this, you're going to want to throw the car at this curb like as a direct line. But what you really want to do is go out as far left for as long as possible. And what you're doing is setting up that bump. Now, this is a big bump and you don't want to hit it, but you can just skim it and it will help the car turn a little bit. So it's all about trying to find that foot to the floor line without understeering too much. If you end up over here, there's no recovery. Once you start hitting this ripple strip, it's very close to hit this corner, to hit the grass, and it's very bumpy. The car will actually lift off the ground. You'll lose control, hit that fence, and then you'll bounce back onto the track and take other people out. So, yeah, this particular one is a drag race. Now, this tree here, you'll see here in the race, there's actually a shadow line, and I'm using that as a brake marker because there's no real markers along the fence. And you want to get down to second, but if you do it, click on the paddles too quickly, you're going to miss shift and you're not going to make the corner properly. Guessing this is going to run out in 21 seconds time. But basically what I'm finding is if I'm doing a hard stab of the brakes before I'm changing gears, it helps go down from fifth to second really quickly. And then what you want to do is try to just miss that. And what you're doing with understeer here and understeer there, we're going to
That's the end of the session. P1.
30 minutes. Thanks, Jim. So you really want to find that straight line through, and as you can see quite obviously here, it's far from straight. But with the understeer and then the change of direction understeer, you can find that straight line through here. So what you want to do is just miss that. Use the white ripple strip to turn the car a little bit, and then look for that full straight line without losing too much momentum. And at the chicane there, you're really not modulating the accelerator or the brake until turn 1. So for the rest of the lap, this is flat. And then what I'm thinking about while I'm doing this bit is just straight lining it. So if you set your corner up too early, you're going to go out wide and you're just going to lengthen the circuit a little bit. But your mindset is always going to be from the chicane is your entry point into this corner. You can go flat. If you don't get the chicane spot on, you're actually going to be a few kilometers less into this sweeper, and you can go flat. If you throw too much speed into the corner, you're going to have to back it off just a smidge on exit, and you're going to lose all that momentum. In a race, when someone's right on your tail, that's going to mean a lot coming into turn 1. So I'm going out wide and I'm actually just throwing it in early. I noticed a couple of the mid-pack guys in the race that I watched were throwing it in a little bit late, which was making the car unstable and oversteery towards the bridge. But throw it in early, aim for the white line, just try and tickle that white line and you can have a flat stick moment. You'll see when it works. If you have to back off here, There's so much momentum lost. Even though it's downhill, you can make up a bit by short shifting. It's imperative that you get that right sweeper we've just passed. Perfect. Now you can use a bit of the ripple strip, but there's no need. If you get your line right in the sweeper, just set this up. You can, if you get a lot of speed through the sweeper, you can short shift here and you'll make up half a tenth along the straight. But this is all flat stick. Flat stick. Get that nice smooth line. Too many steering corrections. Naturally, I'm a seesaw driver with a steering wheel, trying to make constant corrections, but smoothness will be rewarded in time. Nice and smooth. Believe in the downforce. And that's a 46.853. Now there's not a lot. There is not a lot between that and a 46.4, mainly in turn 1. But once again, too greedy in turn 1. Just missed the apex, and there's no coming back from it. Now we'll go back to before the start line. Now, safety car goes in on the main straight here. There's going to be a lot of games played, a lot of games. Just be wary of it. I'll show you a video here of the race that I watched. Turn the sound off. Basically, the car we're in is the pole sitter. And look, he's letting those guys go by, because what these guys are getting a message on their screen to let the leader by, and they're more worried about getting a penalty at the start finish line than trying to egg each other on. This guy's played some pretty full on games. Jim just did the right thing, stayed with the safety car. But like I said, this guy's the pole sitter. At the right sweeper, he's made up for it. And then as soon as he got to the safety car, he let him by again. So he's given, it's all about mind games. He's given this guy a false sense of, oh, we're going to have a normal start. So he's like, come on, come on, come on. And the safety car's a long, long way away. And he's waiting for that moment where he can just punch it. And the advantage that he got is already 3 car lengths. Now, because of that, Jim was side by side into turn 1. And he lost his position for that, and he finished 3rd. So just be wary. There's going to be a lot of games played. And a lot of side by side. These guys were fairly respectable. There's Sebastian there, who's a junior Ferrari driver. That's relatively clean start for those sort of guys. Well, thanks for watching, guys. I hope that helped. Give us a thumbs up if you liked it, down if you didn't. Make sure you subscribe and come check me out on Twitch on the weekends. If you've got any ideas towards how you attack this track, feel free to leave a comment down below. And yeah, good luck this week. I'm looking forward to it. Bye.